tryna take it down, place for you just scoring minds, best the bar.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, I got your watch list coming in December 23rd, 2019, and I got 3 stacks I'm looking to buy this week. It is going to be a short week. It is not the last trading week of the year. We're actually going to have 2 trading days after this. There is going to be a short week here too, so watch out for the weeklies. Watch out for the timing, but it's going to be exciting. I'm really hyped. Hopefully you guys are having a good holiday so far. Merry Christmas, happy holidays, happy Colt Day, whatever it is you celebrate, but the markets are still open. Isn't that fascinating? Wall Street doesn't take a day off. Well, they kind of do. But anyway, so I'm excited. I want to go over that with you guys. Really, the plays we're going to be looking at, some are going to be the plays that we already have, and even just comparing this to the last few weeks, a lot of the key things are still in place, and really it is the liquidity, and it's not a lack of liquidity, but the increased liquidity from the Fed. So a big date to watch is going to be December 31st. Now that's the last trading day, that's New Year's Eve, but there is going to be positioning in the market beforehand, so we're going to be watching out for that. We're waiting now on the phase 2 trade deal, kind of more or less the optimism from that. Don't forget, and again too, some of the impeachment stuff, but really right now the market is on autopilot. This is probably one of the most unique years we've actually seen. So again, even though we have our thesis coming into 2019, this week is going to determine a lot. So even though it's going to be short, there's going to be a mix of both setup and big moves. So I'm excited. The markets are excited. Look at all this volume. So I hope you guys are ready for it. I'm going to go over that, and yeah, let's get into it. But before we do that, actually, make sure you guys are subscribed. Make sure to drop your thumbs up on the video. And if you don't know, we are live Monday through Friday, 30 minutes before open. We are still going to be streaming. You still better be there, and you better source that information. Be positive, respectful, and the most important thing you need to do, post your watch list below. Let us know what you're looking at. Let me hear your guys' end of the year theories, what you're looking at. Shout out everybody who's been doing that, man. I appreciate every single one of you, everybody on the stream, man. I'm feeling great with it, man. I love you all. Hopefully you are feeling it and ready to go. Let's see what we could come up with this last week. I think there's going to be a lot of opportunity hiding beneath the surface. When a lot of people go away, some people, their end of the year already began. So let's take advantage, baby. Oh, and the last thing before I know I've been ranting on this, but and the last thing too, don't forget we made 3 new channels: Colt Real Estate, Colt Music, and Colt Cars. It's the first links there in the description, so get on that. Make sure you guys are subscribed. I'm gonna need y'all to subscribe for that. But okay, let's get into it. So as far as the keys, I do not have any for you, and why is that? Is because we have to see what tomorrow brings about. And again, Tuesday is going to be Christmas Eve, so we're going to have a short day on Christmas Eve. The market's going to close at 1 p.m. Eastern time, so it's like 10 a.m. Pacific. So the thing I'm watching for is pretty much tomorrow. How tomorrow sets up, like I said, it's either going to be a setup or it's kind of going to be a stall, but don't be surprised to see kind of a day like this, where the market's going to make the first move by that first hour or two and then level out. And a lot of people were confused by that, but take note, this is when you turn on the pre-market. There's a lot of moves happening post-market and after hours, so that's what we want to look out for. I want to see what news comes out tomorrow, and just overall what I'm really looking for. The Fed is doing $500 billion on December 31st. That is what I want to see. But now, like, even one of the plays I really want to watch, Intel, look at this volume, almost as much volume Friday as its earnings, and we're talking at a price almost 10% higher. So if you put this into context, this is huge volume for Intel. And this isn't a small market cap company. So why I'm bringing this up in context of what we're looking out for tomorrow, we want to see there's money positioning, there's the end of the year window dressing. So again, think like VWAP a lot. And the VWAP has been going crazy. But a lot of you guys ask, how do we use the VWAP? I have a video on that, but people are going to scale in and out. And really what you see with the Fed, like, why is everything going up? Why are the prices going up? Because it's not only the Fed adding money and providing this liquidity, but you're having an influx of people running to buy stocks. And it's not necessarily retail investors like you and me, but more so these institutions, banks, even the buybacks. So this is their end of the year to set that up. But again, this is what happens. This is why people use VWAP and stuff like that, because if you just keep buying and buying and buying and throwing money in, it drives the price up. So they try to wait and buy it at VWAP and use that as to not disturb natural market price. So that's what I want to see tomorrow is, do we get that? What type of setup do we have coming into this end of the year? We know there's money. We know people want to get their setups. Are they finished or are they just beginning? And how are they going to position themselves? And that is where we want to take advantage. So that's going to be the main key tomorrow, and even just looking out. So make sure you're on stream, because if anything does happen, we will keep an update. Again, I'm still in the back of my mind, I'm watching out for anything negative, because again, the reason why the Fed is doing all of this is because there's a negative event or a potentially negative event with the banks and all that. So that is what we want to see. So other than that, that's pretty much it. So watch out for that. Let us get into the plays. So right off the bat, there's 3 stocks I want. One of them we already have. And really, I guess I would say 2. I'm going to give you a second one. Remember that Bank of America play? I still like it. That's why I want to see the banks coming in, because they've actually moved, but they're moving a little different. But again, take a look at the volume on Bank of America. That's, again, this volume at all-time highs is very, very crucial. But watch them. But the first play is going to be Roku. And why I say this, because we're going to see if what type of end-of-the-year stuff in rotation they get. The volume's not as high. We have that play. We saw that positive news over the last week. So we're still in that play. We did the ghetto spread. We got that 170 for free, and then we sold the 175. So I'm in that, and that's the first play. But the second big play I want, and now I have a potential play for you guys. I'm going to show you here on the option chain, but we have to wait till tomorrow to see where it opens because the price hasn't adjusted. But again, like I said with Intel and the volume, that's a big thing to know. They're near this all-time high. The chip makers have been getting a lot of positive news. We saw NVIDIA and AMD last week. So I like Intel because this is one that gets overlooked. But now from a contract point of view, they are a low implied volatility stock. They don't move much. So that's why for some of you guys used to buying out the monies, you can't get too far out the money on Intel because this is a huge float stock. It's not supposed to move that big. So doesn't mean we can't play it, but be cautious not to get too far out of the money. But I like where they're at. They haven't really got as much attention. And again, remember with everything with Apple, they're kind of linked back and forth. Remember they sold like 15% of that unit. So we've seen them kind of go hand in hand for towards the end of the year since that deal went through. But now as far as the option chain, this is the play I want. I mean, we could go for this. Again, the weeklies next week are going to be insane. Be careful with that. I know some of you guys got those big YOLO balls that do your thing, but we'll see. I mean, if there's opportunity, fast movement, we will go for it, but don't forget what you did. And even then, at the beginning of the week, even being a short week, this is going to be great for the ghetto spread. So I'm going to watch out for that, but I want the January 17th. So now this is the thing I like. Take a look at the contract prices. They go by $2.50 increments. This is very, very weird for Intel. This is a 50-cent increment stock. You go to every other chain before that, you see it broken down in 50 cents. So that's why these are going to look cheaper and even more liquid. You're like, 3 strikes out of the money. It's a 3 or 5 cent bid, but this is what I was saying. Those are really far out because that's a big move. But when stocks get on these momentum, they could make a big play. So this is where I like Intel because this could be a month play. You could play it like a YOLO in the sense that it's a lower probability, but I really think the probability is actually higher than statistically stated because if they break out, they could really run. And now these contracts are going to be pricing it big because although people expect it to go up, they're not expecting it to go up a lot. So you can see you're getting this almost at the bottom of the chart on those. On most of them, these ones, the ones already started to pop here, and that's what's going to happen to all the ones below here. So I'm either thinking we do a spread with the 6250s or depending, and this is what I'm saying, look at the chain and how liquid is. We need to see what this does, but this might, so I'm going to go over this tomorrow. If you miss it, I will give an update on the watch list tomorrow. I'm going to make a play on this. We might be able to find a really good cheap contract, couple penny play and then again, even if you spread it and it's $2.50 difference on a stock like this, it's going to leave a lot of opportunity. So this is my second play, and I would say this is probably going to be my favorite, a close second into Bank of America, but we have to see what prices we get filled on. So make sure you're there tomorrow. It's going to be a lot of good explanations. I love y'all, man. Shout out the 11 out of 11. Shout out Scream Alerts, baby. Shout out the Colt. That's the second one. And then lastly, my favorite one. Well, honestly, I don't know. I think this one we're in it, so I won't count this as a play, but booking, because again, you guys are already seeing the move. That spread we went up. Again, they shot up like $20 that day. They're going to be a slow mover. Again, volume's coming in, but they are actually lagging behind a lot of stocks. So again, if things start to do good and we get that actual melt up, booking is going to go. So as you see, it moved $100 in 4 or 5 days. So that spread, we're only $50 out the money when we were $70 out the money not too long ago. So by tomorrow, we might be right within that striking zone. So I'm going to keep my eye out for that one. I like them. But now I guess I have it. See, I don't know. I don't know if it's the third play. I'd say watch Microsoft next too. Again, crazy volume. They're at the all-time high. I think they replicate Apple, and they're just really a sleeper in the grand. A lot of people haven't been giving attention to it, but I think I might put the last play on target. I think this is going to be the third one. So again, I'm battling back and forth. A lot of things are at highs, but I like target because again, these low IV movers, the ones that don't move a lot, these are where the real opportunity is at, because if they're not expected to move a lot and all this money comes in and everybody starts buying in and the Fed and all this, they go from not expecting to move, then everyone's like, oh, wait, maybe we do expect it to move. So it goes from cheap to expensive. If you didn't watch that video I posted on the weekend, think about the Chargers example. Go watch that video. It'll explain a little bit what I'm saying. So pretty much find the teams that are like the Chargers. I know you guys don't like the Chargers, but San Diego, baby. I think Target, that's going to be the third one I'm going to buy. And again, we have to look at the contract prices when market opens. And the key I'm going to be going towards is aiming towards the January contracts, depending on the type of move. Because again, January contracts is going to give us time, and the more further you go out, the IV and the pricing drops a little bit. This is how you could really take advantage of the market maker. Again, watch that video on what we talked about. So I'm going to be looking for these. You could take advantage of the spreads, but I do want to see a break of that 130, and I think if it does, it could go good, but we're going to have to see. But those are your 3 plays. As far as everything else, I think really I have a lot of these plays I'm looking at that I like, so we already went over all those. I'd say give AMD another close second as well, too. We have that play. And again, this is why I like Intel, because our AMDs that we got last week, remember that January one, and this is what we did last week, actually. So think about everything I just said. This was that AMD play. We got a $50 call January 17th, but it's already up 80%, and it's the same exact concept because this was far out the money. It had a lot of time. Even though they're at highs, people were expecting AMD could move, so the closer ones to the money had premium, but not the ones further out the money, so it made that move. So I think Intel's going to fall in line with there, but again, some of the Intels did get a little expensive, so we're going to strike them. Go to find them at the best time. I like AMD, but we're already in that play too, so keep your eye out for that. Now, moving on to the next chart, Snapchat. They got some positive news. Their volume's gone up, but not too much, and they're at an interesting spot, but watch out for them. We're still in all those plays. We're looking to build that long-term position, but they could be good in general, and if Snapchat starts moving, it'll tell you something about the rotation and where the money's coming in, so watch them. And then I hate this stock. I hate the company. Actually, I don't hate anything. I love you all. I just want to buy it myself. But Twitter, you guys, Mr. Hits called this one out for you guys last week, and you guys made a lot on it. It was great. But they're at a crucial point. If they do start to get above the 32 mark, I think, is that where they IPO'd at back in the day? Man, I'm feeling old, aging in dog years. No, but I remember this 30 level. This was important. This is where they bounced from. This is where they bounced from. And then this is where they also broke multiple levels and even showed resistance in the past. So I think it's an important level. If they do get some steam there, that could be good. So maybe I might play. I will keep my eye on it, but it's something, definitely has my attention. Then alongside strategy for this week, watch HD. Remember now, this week I'm saying 225 at the latest. Hopefully those contracts depreciate, but I'm going to be watching HD. McDonald's looks a little weaker, but both of these, and you could do this for any company. Given that it's a short week, how things move, we can take advantage of credit spreads this week. Call it a day. You don't want to hit super, and think about the difference. Instead of going further out the money with time, you could play midterm or a little bit shorter term and then just do credit spreads and just say, hey, I'll just take the credit, because we probably will get some weird bullishness. So watch out for that. Then Facebook, I still think they're at a crucial level, and this is going to relate to the last play I'm going to talk about. So let me actually go to the next one. Watch UNH. That one's still in play. They dropped a lot, and depending on, they might even have a big opening down, or if they switch the trend, but these could start to get a little bit appetizing here. We would have hit them last week, but again, UNH is a really, really, really slow mover, but it has higher implied volatility, so it's different from some of these bigger float, low IV stocks like Intel, AMD. But watch UNH, and now back to Facebook, it reminds me of Amazon. And Amazon now, in the midst of all this, and a lot of companies are at all-time highs right now, or at these weird breakout points. Amazon isn't. So remember, we had that January play, and I'm surprised. That one should have moved. We should have seen something here. There's something with Amazon, and I want to set up a play. It could happen either towards the end of the year, the beginning of the year, but this is unusual. There's a reason why the volume and the money and everything, this is just sticking out like a sore thumb. Would have been beautiful for an iron condor, but watch that. But that's what I'm saying with Facebook. Facebook was kind of like that, but now Facebook's kind of breaking out from that. So watch Facebook. Again, more increasing volume than anything. But then if Facebook breaks out and then leaves Amazon in the dust, this is going to set something up. So I'm going to watch out for that. But that is your watch list, ladies and gentlemen. Make sure you're hydrated, healthy, ready to go. Make sure we see you in the morning. Make sure you enjoy every single moment you have here in the end of the year, getting ready the next year. Watch my end of the year advice I gave y'all, man. Show love to everybody. Come in the game. Be excited, man. We made it through this year. I love every single one of you. Shout out every single person who supported a video, watched it, been on stream. If you even made it this far into all the videos and know this is my rant on the stream and build everything. I love you. Let's go!